Hi, I'm Spence C. I'm a musician and music business consultant. And I'm also doing a lot of radio promotion at the moment. And I've been speaking to quite a lot of independent artists who are interested in getting their track on radio. And there's a lot of questions that come up, and some of them are quite similar. So I'm just recording this video just to refer people to this video if you have any questions about the service, about the offer, about what it can do for you, then hopefully I'll address most of the things here. So first of all is the most important question I think a lot of people ask, of course, is how much is it? So let's get straight into that. It is $600. That is the price. It's no more, it's no less. Now you might be saying, okay, well, what do I get for that? So that's a better question. So $600 is a one-off payment. And what you get for that is a 16-week campaign where your track is offered up to over 5,000 international radio stations. They are a mix of internet radio stations and FM stations. So as long as your track is registered with the performing rights organization in your country, let's say, for example, you're watching this in the UK, then it would be the PRS that you would be registering your track with. If you were watching it in the USA, then it could be CSAC or BMI or ASCAP. They can be the PROs in USA. You'll have to find out, if you're in any other country, find out what your PRO is and register your song with that so you are eligible for royalties, because I'm probably going to be answering several questions in one in this one, because another question that I get asked is, do I get paid from this? And the answer is yes, if your song is registered with the PRO in your country. And it also means it is passive to a certain point, but a lot of royalties can go under the radar, especially if it's with smaller stations. So you might want to follow that up, and I will do a follow-up video to this, and maybe I'll put it in the comments. There are a couple of organizations that will do this on your behalf, not free, but they won't charge you up front. They will charge you on the back end. So they will do all the hunting and scouring for you and find all the royalties that you are due. So I will put a link down below or mention them in the comments down below. So yes, so I'm answering the question so far. How much is the package? What is it for? So you get 16 weeks of placements. And it's one song at a time. So you can't give me a whole album and expect me to push 12 songs for one price. It's $600 per song. And for that, the company that I work with, they have built up over 15 years plus a lot of goodwill and a lot of confidence and trust in these radio stations, because the songs that they send them are radio ready, which means this is another question that I get asked: what kind of songs do you accept? Now, the songs that we accept are radio ready, and that's what I mean. I'll come to the genres in a minute, but the actual technical side of things is they need to be professionally produced, mixed, and mastered. Now, that means that is quite a wide thing to say, obviously, but you have to kind of use your intelligence for this. If you've produced this in your bedroom and you're quite inexperienced at producing it, or you've just razzed it off on GarageBand in 20 seconds and you haven't mixed it or mastered or anything, it's probably unlikely that it's going to be played on the radio because the quality isn't there. Now, a lot of radio stations do add some compression automatically to songs to make them sound good and to give them a uniform kind of quality. However, quality, audio quality before that happens is paramount. So if you've recorded at a professional studio and you had it professionally mixed and professionally mastered, then there's a good chance the technical side of it is there. Obviously, it has to be a good song, And what I mean by a good song is a song that, if you listen to it on the radio, you'd think, wow, this sounds completely in place with the rest of the playlist. It doesn't suddenly sound very jarring because it's very amateur lyrics or melody or recording. It fits nicely in with the rest of the things on the playlist. Having said that, genres are pop, rock, country, reggae, some EDM, electronic dance music, but again, it would need to be like a 3 minute to 3.5 minute kind of edit, and it would need to be like radio friendly. So again, no profanities. Hip hop, unfortunately, isn't accepted as a genre there a lot of the time because it's quite a specialist. Proper hip hop is kind of a specialist kind of genre now, and a lot of these stations tend to take more guitar based pop rock country kind of music. Having said that, if you're sitting on a track which you are getting a lot of love back for, and maybe you're already getting a lot of hits on it, or you're getting a lot of spins and you're getting a lot of streams on it, and people are saying it's a great song, then by all means send it to me, because part of the price, what you get is a song, not only a song review but a catalog review. And so you'll send me the song, the link to the song that you want promoted. I will listen to it, and I will I can listen because I'm not emotionally attached to the music. I know what they're kind of looking for, and I will listen to it. And then if I think it's got a great chance of being played, and then you pay the money and you want to go ahead, I will then send it to the head of the company, who will have the final say. He will say, yeah, this is definitely going to go. If we get to that point and they say, no, I don't like the song. If I say, yes, I like it, and they say, no, I don't think it's going to get played, then you can expect a complete refund, because what this is a service. It's like an introductory service. Let's say it's like a dating service. So we are the intermediary between you. Excuse me. Just dropped my glasses. Sunglasses. We are the intermediary between you, the artist, and the radio stations. So we make the introductions on your behalf. Now, as you'll know, if you've been in the industry a little while, introductions on your behalf are very powerful. It saves you having to go as an unknown artist, knocking on the door, ringing them up, sending them cold emails, pestering them to get your track online. Now, you can do that. There's nothing wrong with that, and that's a valid strategy as well. You can do that. It just takes a hell of a lot of time. It takes a lot of energy, and you have to face a lot of rejection. Not only rejection, but just total being ignored a lot of the time, because you can understand that these radio stations get hundreds of new demos, new tracks each week, maybe each day, in some cases. And so having this service to filter through all that and only pick the creme de la creme, and then sending those tracks, and then each track we send them, they go, oh yeah, we know it's going to be they've done all the selection for us. There's a 99% chance we're going to take that song. So that's the way it goes. We are like that introduction. So yes, you could, let's use the dating metaphor. You could, if you're a guy and you're a straight guy, you could walk up to the pretty girl in the coffee shop and ask her out for a date, and go direct. Nothing wrong with that. Or you could sign up to a dating agency and be selected and be matched up with the algorithm to certain people who are matching your likes and dislikes and future goals and ambitions. And therefore, employing a third person to do all that for you. Either strategy is valid. Now, which one do you want to do? Do you want someone to do all the introductions for you, or do you want to be the one who's walking up and making the introductions yourself? You could do both. You could employ us to do this, and you could be going to stations and people, knocking on the doors and ringing the bell and ringing them up and asking them to play you and all that kind of stuff. And why not do it? They're not mutually exclusive. Don't get it twisted. Don't go, oh, I'm going to give you this, and then you're going to do all the work, and I'm just going to sit back and count the royalties. Yes, we can do that on the radio side of things, but if, as a musician, you should be doing more than just wanting to get your track on the radio. It's building up your live show, for example, and building up your social media presence, building your email list, you know, building your own connections. And that leads me very nicely on to one of the best things about this offer is that yes, we are the service that promotes and does the interactions with your song, it makes the introductions. However, if we introduce you to a radio station and they say, hey, we love this song, we're going to play it, then they will send you reports directly to you of when they've played the song, which stations have played it, which DJs have played it, and when. So you know where it's been played. And then you can make your own connections with those people. So let's say you have a hit on your hands and you play somewhere in the States, they play it on a radio station, and people are ringing up the radio station, who is this? It's great. Where can I find out more about them? Let's say you've got that they love it, then you know that you'll have an interaction with them, and any future releases you can send directly to them. You can start building your own connections through us. So we're not precious about that. You know, they will contact you directly. Um, so, but what we've done is, what this company have done, is spent over 15 years building those connections up, building out that network of people, that network of station managers, producers, and DJs, being on first name terms and knowing that when we offer them stuff, they know it's high quality and they're going to play it. So think of it like that. We're an introduction agency, and so what we're not is here to rip people off. I'm a musician myself. The head of the company is a very accomplished musician, very skilled musician, and a veteran of the music business, and was involved in the early stages of CD Baby. Knows a lot of the older guys in the business, and has got a lot of authenticity. You know, he's got a lot of 700. He's got 700 tracks in his catalog as well. So we're all musicians, so we're all looking out for each other. But of course, there has to be a fee. We can't do all this for free because, you know, we all have to eat. You know, so and it's a very reasonable fee. You know, for 16 weeks, a one-off fee of $600. I mean, if you are a working musician, let's say you do weddings, corporate gigs, and things like that, then you know a couple of those, and then you can pay for this easily. And it's an investment. You know, we're not promising the world here. We're not promising anything. All we're saying is we can make the introductions for you. The rest of it really relies on the quality of your song and the willingness of the stations to play it. As I said, we are just the bridge there. Um, but included in the price, and forgive me because I'm going off the top of the dome on this, and just trying to answer lots of different questions all in one. So hopefully, something what I've said has kind of answered the question that you might have. Um, and so, and now I forgot what I was going to say next. Yes, so yeah, included in the price is not just a song review that the song you want promoted, but a catalog review. Because what I hear a lot is that artists will send me a track and say, "Hey, this is the one I want to send and promote." Oh, yeah, okay, it's all right. And then I'll automatically look at the rest of their stuff on Spotify. They're go into their catalog and listen to everything, and I will think a lot of the time, 90% of the time, the track that they have sent me, in my opinion, isn't the strongest song in their catalog. It's probably the newest song and the latest song, and that's the way us musicians work, right? Nothing's more exciting. You don't feel as much passion about anything other than the newest song that you're doing, because of course, because it's new, it's fresh, you put in all the energy into it, and you think this is the one that's going to do it. I get it totally. However, there's a lot of the time I will discover real great songs in people's catalogs that may be 3 or 4 years old, and so maybe the passion's gone for them. They've overlooked them. Maybe they've released them at some point, hadn't had much luck with it, and so just gone, oh, probably it's not a very good song, so maybe this one's better. So it's very hard to be subjective when it's you listening to your own music. I totally get it. And so having an impartial pair of ears like mine and the guy who is the head of the company, having us listen to it as well and go, yeah, these are maybe consider this track instead of that one, because we know what the stations are looking for, and we are listening impartially. We don't know you really. We don't know who you are. and so we can listen, and we can listen just purely for the music and not for any hype or anything you've had around previous songs. I hope that kind of makes sense. So that's included in the price, the time and the energy that it takes for me to listen through your whole back catalogue and decide which songs are the best ones for you. That's part of the price. It's all included. As I said, it's one off. It's an upfront price. It's not recurring, but you can, if you wanted to do, let's say you had an album and you had a strategy of releasing 10 songs over the next year, and then you could do a multiple release through us, and you would get a discount on that. So instead of charging you for each track, and if you wanted to do like 6 or 12 or 10 tracks or whatever, it's multiple tracks campaigns, like 16 weeks apart, then we could look at that, and we'd definitely be negotiating the price on that, because obviously to pay, yeah, we would do that for you if we think you've got a strong enough catalogue. I'm sure I think there's any more. I think I've answered a lot of the most frequently asked questions here. And of course, we've also got the comments down below to you for you to ask more. So let's say, for example, another one is, what if my song gets chosen? Well, of course, hooray, congratulations, that's what we want. So if the song gets chosen, as I said, you will then hear from the station that chooses it, and they will send you detailed reports on when they play it and who plays it. And that is multiplied by each station. So if, let's say, we send it out to 5,000 stations, and all 5,000 stations take it on, then obviously you've got a lot of emails coming your way. But it's unlikely that every station is going to take it, because a lot of the stations probably have different themes. They have different kind of considerations for their playlist, and they might not be accepting new material. Maybe they're full for that month, and sometimes that's the way schedules go. They've already, the playlist is full. They might say, yeah, not for now, but for later. So there's a million kind of variables in there. But 5,000 is a great kind of number to be going at, because. So let's say, for example, and again, no promises here. You could get. So let's say you get combined to, or one of the questions I'm going to ask is how many people listen. So a combined audience could be around 11 million. Now that sounds a lot, but if you think about 5,000 plus radio stations and their listenership of each one, and it's multiplied. So let's say 11 million. Let's say only 1% of that listen. So that is still 10,000, no, 100,000. Let's say 1% of that, just 10,000 people listen, or 11,000. That's still quite a lot of people, new fans that you're going to have coming through into your fan base. So look at it like that. And also, you've got to have realistic expectations. Now, if you put one track on Spotify and then that's it, can you expect to build up a fan base with that? And it's the same with this. Yes, you can have an impact. Yes, you could get lucky. Yes, you could send us one track and then you get played on the radio and maybe it gets a bit of love. And then what? Careers aren't made on one track. They're made on multiple tracks. So let's get the expectations right. Yes, you could win some new fans. Yes, you could make some new connections with this. Yes, you could get some royalties off that, and that's great. But to really, look at the long term and the next 10 years for you as an artist, for this to work really in your favor, you're going to look at multiple releases. And so, like I said, we can talk about that, follow-up singles and all that kind of stuff, and the price that would cost. And again, this isn't mutually exclusive with Spotify. You don't feel like I'm saying, oh, you should just do this and not Spotify. I think you should do everything you can. Anything and everything you can. Play live, put tracks out on Spotify, put tracks out on the radio, sell tracks on your own website. Do it all. Don't limit yourself. Just put it all out there, as many places as you can. That's my philosophy anyway. And then you've got a lot of different ways for people to get in touch with you. A lot of different ways for people to find you. And like I say, if you do, another question is, well, what if I don't get chosen? Well, that's usually because the quality of the production isn't there, or the quality of the song. And that can mean that it's too long. If it's like 4 minutes plus, if it's like a progressive song, then that's not really radio friendly. A lot of tracks, 4 minutes maximum, you know. Um, Usually 3 minutes, 3.5 minutes is the usual kind of radio friendly length. Um, and again, that said, there's nothing to stop you sending me your tracks in advance, because what I'm doing at the moment is completely free of charge. If you send me your tracks on LinkedIn, I'm building up a playlist of essential listening, and which is basically tracks that I get sent to me, and some of my own songs that I love, not necessarily my own that I've produced, but songs that I listen to and I like. I'm going to put on there as well, mix them all up on a playlist. So then, hopefully, as it gets longer and bigger, this playlist, you can share it. If I accept your track on it, you can share the playlist, and then more people get to listen to it. So that's the idea. So Spencer's essential listening. So if you can send me that. You can send it in the comments down below. Send your tracks in the comments, and I will listen to the track free of charge. And if I like it and I think it's got potential to be on the radio, or if I just like the song, maybe it's a different genre to what would be on the radio. Maybe it's like a dance tune. I just like it. I'll put it on the list. It doesn't mean to say that I'm going to forward it onto the radio or that I'm going to recommend it for that. But a lot of the time, I will put tracks on there which I think actually this would work well with this campaign, and I will be in touch with you and say, hey, I'll put it on the playlist. Have you considered the radio promotion for it? So I will offer that completely for free. So drop your links down there, and if you like your track, and if it's suitable for the radio, this radio promotion, this particular one we're talking about now, then I will be in touch with you. So that's another way of getting people to hear your music, that you can get it on my Spotify playlist. And I'm not even a big Spotify guy, you know. I don't really promote my own stuff on Spotify much, but I just know it's just a very easy platform to share, and it's a way of making some royalties, and it's a way of getting some notification and building some. And as I said, I don't rule anything out. Just put tracks everywhere. Go door to door. You know, busking. I'm a big advocate of busking. Just play anywhere and everywhere. Get your music out as many places as possible. Don't limit yourself. So I think with that said, I think I've covered all the major bases here. And so, like I say, if you've any questions or any answers rather that I haven't covered in this video, then please drop them in the comments down below. I will answer and respond to every comment that comes into the comment section. I will listen to every track and comment on it that comes into this comment section as well. So I'm here for you. I'm here to support you as an independent musician myself, and here to support you to get your tracks out there to a wide audience, because I know what it's like. You know, there's so much white noise. It's so hard to get people to listen to your songs who aren't your immediate family and friends. It's hard to build a fan base nowadays. I get it, you know. And so I'm just here to try and help in any little tiny way that I can, just get a few more ears on the songs that I think are good. And of course, it's completely subjective. You know, it's just my opinion at the end of the day. I am not God. You know, I'm not the gospel. I'm not the sort of the ruler of the airwaves. You know, if I say, actually, I don't think this song's going to fly on there, don't take it personally. Don't take it like, oh, this song is rubbish, I'm going to forget it and change careers or whatever. It's just my opinion. You know, send it to other people, see what they think. You know, like I say, it's just it's just my opinion at the end of the day, and I can be wrong, and I can be, you know, obviously people aren't right. Music's very subjective. Things change, and some people like, other people hate, and vice versa. All I'm doing is just using the parameters of this radio promotion thing of, like, it has to be the right quality, has to be sort of like a radio friendly song, it has to be a certain length, and it has to be something that I feel that I can get behind, and, you know, I'm excited by the song, and then I'm happy to, you know, pass it on to my the manager, and he will go, you know, yeah, I like it as well, or not. You know, he'll put his ears on it, his experienced ears, and then if we both love it, then obviously you're off to the races, and then it's much easier for us to promote that track on your behalf to other stations, because we're excited about it and we're going to be pushing it. You know, if we're just kind of like meh, then obviously that's not the energy that you want behind a song. So try somebody else. You know, take it to somebody else and see what they think. You know, so I hope that answers everything. Like I say, any more questions you have, hit me up on the comments down below. I'm also on LinkedIn. You can find me on there if you want to go on there, but you found me here, so why would you go to LinkedIn? My name's Spence C, and I hope to hear your song very soon. And remember, rejection is just correction, ridicule is fuel. See you on the next one.